Miami versus North Carolina State. Joe, when you look at this game, how do you preview it?
Blake, this line on FanDuel, 14.5. I got to be honest with you. I have a very strong inkling that NC State is going to cover that line. I went back and watched the Miami performance against Syracuse, and they dominated Syracuse because they're undergoing their own issues. But I give Miami credit. I have had a lot of caution and a lot of issues with this Miami team over the past couple of weeks, and I'm cutting through me blindly hyping them up like I was doing earlier. I have a lot of concerns for their offensive line. And I think that the biggest thing that is really concerning for me stepping into this game that a lot of people are going to overlook is that NC State is one of the most underrated athletic nucleuses in college football. CJ Bailey, a Florida guy, by the way, from Florida, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 70% completion percentage. He's an elite athlete. Hollywood Smothers, who I think is coming back for this game, 825 yards and 6 touchdowns as a running back. They've also got some pretty good depth at that position. And then Terrell Anderson has 427 yards and 4 touchdowns. Blake, I think that this should be a spot where Miami wins. I am not suggesting that they lose, but I really think that as NC State proved, they are a team that can really stress out any of the top teams in the ACC and could potentially sneak up on them.
I 1,000% agree about Bailey. The one thing that worries me about him in this game, the biggest thing, you said 7 interceptions. The 70% completion percentage that he has is highly impressive for a guy who can be very boom or bust. If he is able to reduce some of those mistakes, like he did against Georgia Tech, I might add, Joe, this team's going to put up points. They are going to put up points against them. I can't believe that I'm the guy, though, that comes in here and is going to ride with Miami on this one. But I'm with you. Miami, I don't trust them. I don't trust that they can stop things. Joe, what are the teams and what is the last team that we saw play Miami and beat them? What happened? You can look at the stat sheet to all the Miami fans and say, Kevin Jennings didn't run for that many yards.
He's banged up.
No. Then you didn't watch the game. And you certainly didn't watch the fourth quarter if you say that. 3 of the first downs that were converted came off of him running the ball. One of them being a penalty, and 2 of them he got with his legs in critical moments for them to tie the game and then ultimately win the game. Bailey is the same dude with being a better passer. And that is the bottom line, the way that I see it. If your edge guys that you keep telling me, in which I agree Ruben Bain is a top 5 level pick, I'm with you there. Joe, he's been playing a lot in what I would characterize as being undisciplined. He's got to be better there. Without a doubt, one of the best players in college football, arguably the best player if you want to go there. He's playing undisciplined football. You can't do that this week. Now, when I look at them from NC State, Joe, they are throwing the ball all over the place. And I'm seeing a secondary in Miami that maybe we thought was okay, struggle the last couple of weeks. I know that in their pass D, from a statistical analysis standpoint in the beginning of the year, that they have been really good. Joe, the last 4 weeks, they have not been. The last 4 games that they have played, they have not been. And it has been a struggle for that secondary when it comes to communication. This one's going to be high flying for me. I think Miami's got to go in there and at minimum score 35 to win it. They got to. But here's the thing. You went up against a team 2 weeks ago in SMU who had one of the worst secondaries in the country. Joe, guess who is 134th in the country in passing yards allowed? It's SMU. Guess who's 133rd? NC State. And what did SMU do against your receiver core when it mattered most? They smothered the shit out of you. Now, I understand SMU is very boom or bust when it comes to their secondary. Joe, they have 14 interceptions on the season, and I get that. They are very boom or bust. They've been more bust than they've been boom. Regardless, this secondary is not good. Carson Beck, who the hell are you? There's all this talk surrounding you. There's all this stuff surrounding you. You still have everything that you want in a playoff spot right in front of your face. Are you going to seize it? Because the team in the beginning of the year to the team I see now is not that. This NC State team defensively is not good at all. This secondary is not good. Can they overcome it with this passing attack will be the biggest question for me.
I think that like the biggest part with this is that you're going up against a team, as you mentioned, bad secondary, 124th in EPA per pass allowed. They're allowing a lot of big plays. But the problem is we sat here and had the same premise when we talked about SMU. So now you're in a spot where you have a kind of replicated matchup where you were supposed to dominate and win and you struggled. I agree with you. Carson Beck has to step up to the plate. He has to have a big game. He needs to perform well. He can't make the same mistakes and struggle the way that he did against SMU, because I would worry that if everything is on his shoulders again and he really, really fails the way that he has done recently, I really worry that they end up getting into a dogfight with this team. 11th in EPA per pass this year on offense. They are truly one of the most underrated offenses in college football for what they've been able to generate. And I'd argue that statistically, they'd maybe even be better if Smothers hadn't gotten banged up a couple of weeks ago. They didn't have Smothers when they played against Georgia Tech. And
all over them.
And they still produced a crap load of points. There is going to be a very underrated challenge here with this NC State team. And I say that like the more positive flip of this, because as much as we're kind of outlining here, NC State can sneak up on you. And I think this is probably the most critical we've been of Miami, who still has hopes of getting into the college football playoff. This has to be like the real prove it moment.
It does.
Which sounds crazy because you had a month of September that had a lot of prove it moments. You're struggling right now. This is a team that just upset the team that everybody assumed and likely is in the lead to get into the ACC championship game. Can you go out and take advantage of their weaknesses, and can you dominate them? I watched Notre Dame team dominate them. Why can't you do the same exact thing? You should be able to. Or are you going to let them hang around? Are you going to let CJ Bailey run around and make big plays, and you're going to be scratching your head and getting frustrated? This has to be a galvanizing moment to kick their ass. It needs to be.
Well, I just ask you this question. Why would I have a lot of – now, I'm about to contradict myself, and I understand this because I'm picking them to win and I'm picking them to cover. I think that they're going to show up. For once, they're going to show up. But I have zero faith in you. As crazy as that sounds, I think you're going to do it. But if you ask me, like gun to my head, like, Blake, are they going to do it? No, I don't know. Because literally 2 weeks ago, you went up against this same level of offense and you couldn't perform. You couldn't perform. This Bailey kid, by the way, Joe, I'm just going to be real with you. We don't talk about the portal with all this coaching carousel stuff. Buddy, this kid goes in the portal. He's going to get a lot of money. He is a baller. I'd take him right now. I'm going to leave that alone. If you think that teams are not watching every single game that he is playing right now, you're a fool. You got it, Ruben Bain. If you're the best end in the country, if you're the best edge guy in the country, go show it. Because
he should be a defensive tackle, by the way. He needs to add weight and be a 3-tech. He would be a perfect 3-tech. I don't think he's built to play.
He's 280.
Yeah, he could be Kalijah Cansey. Kalijah Cansey was so good as a 3-tech, and then he's been really good in the NFL, and I think Cansey's 280.
Joe, I got to be real with you. I don't think he needs to gain or lose anything. I agree. He's an interior player. The problem is he's got the athletic ability to be an edge. That's the crazy thing. I'm with you there, but you better contain. You better contain this week because this kid hits the edge and you're in deep trouble here. All right.